It has been a second since I've sat down. Let me actually go sit down in a more comfortable position so I can be with y'all while Cairo sleeps. It is the beginning of July here right now. You're going to be probably getting this episode towards the end of July. So I'm going to make this as time relevant as possible. In the show notes, I'm going to link a recording, an astrology recording that I recently listened to. I've been jamming out on astrology, okay? And I just think that there are some big time codes inside of the science of astrology that we can utilize for our highest good, for our own path and our families, and just the healing that's possible on the planet. It ain't happening, really. I keep wondering, when is it gonna feel less chaotic and charged on the planet? It's not yet, right? You all know that. I know that. So yeah, here we go. I got a lot of changes this month. We all have changes this month. The astrology that I'm going to link to you is about Uranus switching signs since the first time in 2018 from Taurus, very earthy, grounded Taurus, to Gemini, and what that can imply for the collective. This is the last planetary switch to take place that will embody this new earth that we've all been talking about, had glimpses of, are setting up in our own lives. And that shit ain't easy. And I think it will be very interesting to see what happens over the next several weeks and months. And, you know, the invitation inside of that is to keep yourself very grounded, very clear. And that's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to call this episode Beautiful Boundaries. And before that, I just want to do a little personal share, because I told you there's a lot happening. I'm like 6 weeks away from giving birth to this baby girl, and have had another mostly wild pregnancy. No anything, really. If you could imagine something that could have been done during pregnancy that they routinely do, I didn't do it. Feel very connected to her. I think approaching birth again a second time is already changing me, softening me, preparing me. Is so sensitive. It's so tender and vulnerable. And, you know, when you choose to do it at home and without the ability to really rely on anyone outside of your own self, that shit will bring everything up. Well, it has for me, at least. So yeah, I'm preparing for that. Shifts inside of my little family. And my work, this illumination work, it's evolving because it has to, because my time, I'm going to have less time. And I also still hold the desire to be here to offer, hopefully, some value to my women who are walking a path that can feel incredibly isolating and lonely when you're saying, holy shit, is there another way that things can be done with my health, with my relationships, with my purpose and my career and money? And is the entire system whack? And the answer is yes, it is. And the systems, they are crumbling. And we are the ones who have to build the new things, but it's going to be a slow build. And so right now, I feel this as I'm about to go back into newborn land. And, you know, I'm spending basically all my time with these children. I get a few breaks here and there, thank goodness. And I'm choosing to lean all the way in. That has meant, you know, financial shifts, learning to live off of a lot less, a ton of recoding when it comes to my own purpose and work. And yeah, it's like so many are not willing to rearrange their lives to fit the new earth and paradigm and systems that are inevitably coming. And I get it, because it's so fucking uncomfortable to do it. But I know many of you, if you're listening to this, you're being called to do it. You have your own inner call in your own heart to set yourself up so that you can be solid when things get a little shaky, baby. Because it is. It's shaky out there. And I know that even inside of the spiritual work and the energetic work and learn and tapping into what is available outside of this matrix 3-dimensional reality, there's a lot of BS outside there too, in the spiritual world and the energetic world. And so purity, purifying yourself, your heart, your habits, your mind, all of these things are what is required, in my humble opinion, to stay clear. And man, again, it's not easy. So I'm bowing to you because I know you're on that path with me. And so with beautiful boundaries today, just what I want to speak to is that it is now time, especially now, to apply this concept, this action of having energetic and time and physical boundaries that you set up for yourself, for your path. These can shift, they can change, but within that is, and you can ask yourself in your journal, what am I no longer willing to accept in my life? Where am I going to raise my standards? What habits need to shift so that I can take even better care of myself? And I've noticed a huge starting point for me is inside of the technology, like actually giving myself firm boundaries on my time and my focus and my attention, because that shit will pull you in. And it's designed to do that. And there are many human beings who will merge with the technology, who they're just waiting on that microchip to be put in their brain so they don't have to have the full spectrum of human anymore. They get to, plug into a technological reality that, it's going to be what it's going to be. But if you know that that's not the reality that you want, then you have to make sure you're setting yourself up and not waiting for someone to put boundaries up for you. You have to we all have to cultivate the discipline, the devotion within our own patterning to allow things to start to look different. How are you taking care of your physical body? Because that's where Calypso's kicking. She is agreeing. You agree, girl? Your physical body is the vehicle through which you will experience the higher dimensions of goodness that are available. You're going to be able to experience in here. We don't have to leave here. but it's going to be through the senses of your body, sharpening your senses, the 5 physical senses and the senses even beyond that. We have been fragmented from our potential, our mind potential, our heart potential, our body's potential. And so many of us are awakening to a new reality within that. But it definitely takes care and intention. And not just like eating a salad and being pissed off about it because you're like, oh, it's actually like working on your emotional body first and your mental body first, clearing up your stinking thinking, your limited programming, the resentment you're holding on to, the ways in which you talk down to yourself. All of that has to go for you to take your physical vessel to the next level that we have access to. And there's no rush, okay? There is no rush at all. Know that so much patience is required and compassion towards ourselves. These are all things that this is an entire new human that is being born, that we will transform into. Those of us that came in through the frequency band of trauma and oppression and a lineage of harm and pain, that we're the alchemists learning how to alchemize it. We will be in entirely new bodies, seemingly. And then these babies that we're bringing in, that we're not projecting on, that we're stopping the trauma, that we're not oppressing, and we're giving them these lives of liberation and freedom. Who even knows what they will be like as this evolves? We're finding out. So I'm just here to share what's coming up as it's coming up. I hope that this does something for you and that you will know that you are on the right path for you by choosing to engage in the pieces of information and the guides that you resonate with. That's all I'm here to do. And I just love so many of the women that I know, take the time to sit with me in this way. We'll be unplugging for a little while once Calypso comes, and just like really being with my birth prep, my post-birth, getting her she likes that too. Yeah, just getting her very settled, earth side. But I'm here. Please send feedback, emails, just let me know how this lands because it's helpful. The podcast is likely going to change a little bit, maybe the name, as I get married and I drop Danielle Bryan into somebody brand new. Stay tuned. I love y'all. We're doing great. We got this.